Do you know that often, the harder we try to make something happen, the further it seems to slip away? It's a frustrating cycle we've all been caught in at some point. The more we strain and push, the more elusive our goals become. But what if there's a simpler way, one that requires less struggle and more trust? Enter Neville Goddard, the visionary teacher who reminds us that everything we desire is already ours, waiting for us to claim it. In this video, we'll uncover Goddard's game-changing approach to manifestation that can free you from the endless hustle. Stick around until the end to learn how you can seamlessly align with your dreams, simply by shifting your perspective. Believe it or not, your biggest breakthroughs might just be one mindset shift away. Let's explore how you can finally stop trying so hard. When it comes to manifesting your desires, the key to unlocking the process lies in one simple shift: recognizing that what you want is already yours. You've heard the phrase "act as if or feel it already," right? Well, Neville Goddard takes this idea a step further by saying you don't have to wait for the world to change or for something external to happen. You don't need to scramble around trying to make things work. What you're yearning for is already within your reach, waiting for you to acknowledge it. But here's the tricky part: you have to believe it first. Imagine you're living in the state of having your desire right now. It's already done. Sure, you might not see it with your physical eyes, but the world of imagination is just as real, if not more so, than what you can touch. Goddard suggests that in order to manifest something, you must bring your desire into your inner world and accept it there. This isn't a matter of wishful thinking or pretending, it's about aligning your imagination with what you deeply desire. What often trips people up is the need for tangible proof before they'll believe something is possible. But manifestation isn't about waiting for the universe to deliver physical evidence first. It's about recognizing the fulfillment of your desire in your mind, acknowledging it, and trusting that this mental image is as valid as anything you could see, touch, or feel. Start by picturing the end result. Not the process of getting there, because that's not your job. The process will unfold naturally once you believe you've already arrived. The more you can sit with that feeling of already having what you desire, the more it will seep into your outer world. This is where the power of imagination kicks in. It's not just about visualizing, it's about feeling the emotional resonance of having your wish fulfilled. You must act as though the desire is a present reality, not something you're waiting to come to you. This doesn't mean you won't face challenges or feel doubt along the way. That's perfectly normal. But the crucial difference is this: when you recognize your desire as already fulfilled, it shifts the energy you carry with you. You begin to vibrate at the frequency of your desire. And when that happens, the world starts to respond in kind. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, doesn't work through force. It responds to the energy you put out, and when you're radiating the knowing that your desire is already fulfilled, you'll notice things begin to line up in ways you never expected. This isn't some sort of magical trick, it's about shifting your internal state. The mind is incredibly powerful, and if you can train yourself to accept your desire as already here, you'll begin to see the physical world change. It's not about forcing it to happen. It's about letting go of the need to try. When you try hard, you're sending the message that something is missing. But when you recognize that it's already yours, you exude confidence, calm, and certainty. And that energy is magnetic. So, the next time you catch yourself obsessing over how to make things happen, take a step back. Breathe, center yourself, and remember, your desire is already fulfilled. It's not out there in the future, it's already present in the now, in your imagination, in your feelings. Let go of the need to control the outcome, and allow your desire to flow toward you effortlessly. You've already done the work, now, it's just a matter of accepting what's yours. When we talk about manifesting, it's easy to get wrapped up in the idea that we need to do something extra, like push harder, work longer, or force the universe to bend to our will. But here's the thing, that mindset is counterproductive. The truth is, we're already in possession of everything we could ever want. It's not out there in the future or some far-off place we have to hustle to reach. It's already within us, waiting to unfold. This might sound a little strange at first. After all, if it's already ours, why don't we have it yet? But let's slow down and think about this. Manifestation isn't about striving, it's about allowing. It's about realizing that the life you want is not something you need to claw your way toward. You don't need to force anything to change externally because all the changes you need are happening inside of you. Think about it like this. When you force something, you're essentially telling the universe that you don't trust it. You're saying, I need to make this happen, and I'm not sure if it will unless I push, pull, or drag it into existence. But the problem with that approach is it puts you in a constant state of tension. You're battling with reality, as if it's something that can be won or lost. That's exhausting, and worse, it's counter to what manifestation is really about. Neville Goddard talks a lot about the power of imagination, and this is a big piece of the puzzle. The shift comes when you stop trying to control everything around you and start trusting your own internal power. When you let go of the need to control, you allow your desires to come to you naturally, without struggle. It's about shifting your focus inward instead of outward. You already have everything you need within your own mind and heart. Manifesting is like planting a seed in the soil. Once you plant it, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust that the process is happening, and you let nature take its course. If you're constantly thinking, is it here yet? Why isn't it showing up? What do I need to do to make it happen? You're digging up the seed, and of course, it won't grow. You need to relax, to trust in the process, and stop forcing things to happen before their time. It's like the difference between being at peace with your dreams and being obsessed with them. When you're obsessed, you're attaching yourself to the outcome in a way that makes it feel distant, almost out of reach. But when you're at peace, you know that what's meant for you will come to you naturally. You become more aligned with your desires by relaxing into the idea that they're already yours. Now, this doesn't mean you should sit back and do nothing. It's not about passivity. But it's about aligning yourself with your desires in a way that doesn't involve force. Instead of pushing against resistance, you're working with the flow of life, gently nudging things in the right direction while maintaining the belief that it's already done. You move forward with the confidence that you don't need to try harder because it's all unfolding in its perfect timing. Relaxing and letting go also means shedding the need for validation or instant results. If you're always looking for signs or checking if things are changing, you're still in that place of doubt and uncertainty. True manifestation happens when you trust and let go of that constant need for confirmation. The universe, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't need your interference. It just needs your trust. So, the next time you catch yourself trying too hard, trying to force things to happen, take a step back. Breathe. Relax into the knowing that everything you've asked for is already on its way to you. Trust that the change is happening on the inside, and it will inevitably show up on the outside, effortlessly. When Neville Goddard talks about assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, he's diving into a deep psychological and spiritual concept that can be transformative if we let it sink in. It's all about aligning yourself with the state of already having what you desire, even before you see any external proof. And here's the thing, it's not just about pretending, it's about truly embodying that feeling, feeling it deep in your bones. Think about it like this, manifesting isn't about pushing or striving or making something happen. It's not about forcing things into place, or bending reality to your will through sheer willpower. No, manifesting, according to Neville, is about recognizing that what you want is already there. You've got to live in the end result, act like it's already done, and feel the emotions that would naturally come from that completion. The universe, or whatever higher force you believe in, responds to this feeling of fulfillment. Not to the words you say or the actions you take, those are secondary. It responds to the energy you're radiating when you truly believe that it's already yours. Now, You might be wondering, how do you actually assume the feeling of something you don't physically have yet? This is where the magic happens. Neville says it's about using your imagination, your inner world, to convince your subconscious that the thing you desire is already part of your reality. You might not have the job, the relationship, the success, or the health right now, but your subconscious doesn't need to know that. To it, the feeling is the reality. So, if you can consistently focus on the emotions of having what you want, that will start to translate into your outer world. But it's not just about feeling good in a vague sense. It's about an unwavering, unshakable belief that what you desire is not just possible, but already yours. Imagine for a moment that you have it. Imagine how it would feel to wake up in the morning with that desire already fulfilled. You've got to really feel it in your body, as if it's happening right now. There's no waiting involved. The belief is what makes the shift. Let's take it a step further. Neville speaks about having faith, not just a wishful thinking kind of faith, but a deep, rooted knowing that it's already done. It's like when you walk into a room and switch on the light. You don't doubt that the light will come on. You know it will. This level of certainty is the kind of faith Neville is talking about. It's a quiet, inner confidence that no amount of doubt or external circumstance can shake. You've already accepted that it's done. This doesn't mean you have to try hard to feel it, either. The moment you start striving too much or trying too hard, you're slipping into the energy of lack, and that's not what we're going for. It's about relaxing into the feeling, almost like stepping into an outfit that fits you perfectly. You don't have to force it. Just let it settle in, breathe it in, and trust that it's already yours. That's where the magic lies, when you no longer feel like you're in pursuit of something, but rather, you know it's been delivered to you already. When you live from this feeling of having your wish already fulfilled, you begin to align with the vibrations of that outcome. The world around you starts to reflect it. It's subtle, but it's powerful. This is the essence of what Neville Goddard is teaching us. Manifestation isn't about chasing something outside of ourselves. It's about recognizing and embodying the truth that it's already ours. And when you do that, everything else falls into place. Once you've aligned yourself with the inner knowing that your desire is already fulfilled, the next step is to trust. Trust the process, trust the universe, trust that things will unfold naturally. This might sound a little too simple, but trust is the foundation that holds everything together. Without it, you're left in a state of constant anxiety, wondering when or how your desire will show up. And that's the opposite of what you need. If you've set your inner state correctly, if you've imagined the end result and felt it as real, then the rest will fall into place, almost like magic. The key is to stop controlling everything. We live in a world that loves to dictate terms and micromanage every little detail. But manifestation works differently. Once you've done the internal work, once your mind is in sync with your desire, the external world will begin to mirror that. It's like planting a seed. You don't dig it up every hour to check if it's growing. No, you trust that the seed is doing its job beneath the surface. You water it, give it sunlight, and wait. You know it's growing, even if you can't see it yet. Trusting the natural unfolding doesn't mean you sit back and wait for things to magically appear without doing anything. But it does mean you stop forcing outcomes. You've done the internal work, and now you need to let go of the how, the when, and the why. This part can be the hardest, especially in a world that's obsessed with instant gratification. But the more you trust in the unfolding, the more effortless your journey becomes. It's like stepping into a river and letting it carry you. You don't need to swim upstream or fight the current. All you need to do is trust the flow, trust the direction it's taking you, and know that you're going where you need to go. Your job, now that your inner state is aligned, is simply to stay in the feeling of already having your desire. Let that feeling guide you, and don't get distracted by the external noise or the temporary setbacks that might arise. The universe is like a mirror, it reflects what's going on within you. If you continue to trust the process, continue to believe in the natural unfolding, the mirror will eventually show you exactly what you've been imagining. But if you're constantly looking for signs, constantly doubting, or trying to push things into place, you're just muddying the waters. Trust isn't about waiting around passively, though. It's about being patient, but also remaining active in your own life. Trusting the unfolding means you don't obsess over the details, but you also don't stop living or engaging with the world around you. You continue to take inspired action as it feels right, but without the pressure of forcing results. The moment you let go of needing to control how your desire will manifest, you open up space for it to unfold in ways you couldn't have imagined. And often, it's in these unexpected ways that the best things show up. The natural unfolding also requires you to stay grounded in your inner state, even when things don't look the way you expect them to. External circumstances don't always reflect the inner work right away, and this is where most people get stuck. They start to doubt. They think, if my desire is already fulfilled, why isn't it showing up in my life yet? And that's when the trust is really tested. But remember, the manifestation is happening in the unseen realms first. The more you trust, the more you'll begin to see the subtle signs and synchronicities that show you your desire is on its way. It might not come exactly how you envisioned it, but if you trust the natural unfolding, you'll realize that everything is moving in your favor. So, in essence, once you've set your inner state and aligned yourself with your desire, it's time to relax and trust the process. The universe, or whatever higher force you believe in, knows the path. You don't need to figure it out or make it happen. Your job is to stay centered, stay in faith, and trust that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The more you can lean into that trust, the more effortless the manifestation will become. The universe always has your back, but only when you trust in its ability to deliver. When Neville Goddard talks about the idea that external reality is simply a mirror of your internal assumptions, he's really trying to show us how deep the connection is between what's happening inside of us and what we see around us. It's a powerful concept, one that can shift everything if you really grasp it. The world outside you? It's not some random, uncontrollable mess. No, it's a direct reflection of your inner state, the thoughts, beliefs, and assumptions you hold in your mind. Now, that might sound a little strange at first. We tend to think of reality as something separate from us, like this fixed thing that's just out there, happening to us, outside of our control. We look at events, circumstances, and situations as if they're completely independent of what's going on in our minds. But Neville flips that idea on its head. He suggests that everything you see, every circumstance you experience, is a direct response to what you believe about yourself and the world around you. So let's take a moment to really dive into this idea. Imagine, for a second, that you're holding a deep belief about yourself. It might be something like "I'm not good enough," or "I'll never be successful." Whether you say it out loud or not, that belief is sitting in your subconscious, quietly running the show. And what happens? Without you even trying, the world starts to mirror that assumption. Opportunities seem to pass you by, people treat you a certain way, situations unfold in ways that reaffirm what you already believe to be true. It's like your internal world sends out an invisible signal, and everything around you picks up on it and responds accordingly. But here's the game changer: when you change the assumptions you hold about yourself, everything around you starts to shift as well. If you begin to believe deep down that you are good enough, that you are deserving of success, your external reality will slowly align to match that belief. The key word here is slowly. It doesn't always happen overnight, but once you consciously adjust your internal assumptions, the shift starts to take place. It's like you're tuning a radio. At first, the signal might be fuzzy, but over time, you'll hear everything come into clear focus. Think about this for a moment. Every time you think, "This will never happen for me," you're reinforcing that belief. And when that belief is firmly in place, it doesn't matter how many opportunities come your way, your mind will filter them out. It'll tell you that those opportunities aren't for you. It'll make you blind to the possibilities that are right there in front of you. But when you begin to assume success, assume that you are capable and deserving of what you want, the opposite happens. Your assumptions begin to color your perception of the world. Suddenly, you'll see opportunities that were always there, but that you never noticed before. People will start to treat you differently, almost as if they're responding to a new, more confident version of you. The reality around you simply reflects the assumptions you hold. And here's where it gets even more fascinating. The more you believe in your own worth and potential, the more that reality starts to align with that belief. The universe, life, or whatever force you want to call it, doesn't play favorites. It doesn't judge. It just reflects. If you think life is hard, life will show you that. If you think success is difficult, you'll encounter barriers. But if you think life is abundant, and you expect good things, guess what? Life will reflect that back to you. It all starts with the assumption, the inner belief that this is how things are going to be. And here's the kicker, when you truly feel that assumption with all your being, your external world doesn't just change on the surface. It shifts in a much deeper way, at a fundamental level. The world doesn't change for you, it changes because of you, because you've altered the way you see yourself and the world. So, if you're frustrated with your current situation, feeling stuck or like nothing's moving, it might be time to check in with your internal assumptions. What are you believing deep down about yourself? About your worth? About your ability to manifest the things you desire? If your outer world isn't reflecting what you want, it's a clue that your inner assumptions might need some tweaking. And once you change them, watch how quickly the universe starts reflecting that change back to you. This is the magic of Neville Goddard's teachings. The external world is not some random, chaotic mess. It's a perfect, mirror-like reflection of everything you believe to be true about yourself. So, if you want to see the world change, start by changing what's inside. The rest will follow. And that's a wrap for today's video. Remember, manifestation isn't about effort or struggle, it's about knowing that what you desire is already yours. Trust in the power of your imagination, and let go of the need to force things to happen. If you found this video valuable, make sure to hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more tips on how to create the life you truly want. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below and let me know how you're applying this in your life. Stay focused, stay confident, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep manifesting, modern Stoics.